Okay, we're here with Coach Ben Braun, Rice Owls head coach at Conference USA Media Day. What are your thoughts on the season?
Well, we're excited. Obviously, it's great for us to have our top 4 scorers back. That's a plus for us. Getting some experienced guys now that have been here for a couple of years with us. It's always valuable to have that going in the conference. And some of the more successful teams have returning players, so it's great to have that. I'm also very excited about our freshmen coming in because we've signed 5 incoming freshmen that I think are versatile. They've kind of addressed some of the needs we felt we needed to address. We've got some length now at the wing, which is going to help us. They're multi-dimensional players. They can play a couple of positions, so I think that helps us both defensively and offensively. But I'm excited about the group we've got coming in.
Talk about Arsalan, his development from freshman to now junior year, and then now being preseason first team.
Well, Arsalan really has proven himself, not just in our conference, but across the country, as just a really durable, solid performer that's, pretty much virtually gives you a double-double every night. I don't know many coaches and many teams that can say they have a guy that can do that, and he really does it in an unspectacular way. He's not a fancy player, he's not a flashy player, but he goes out in an old-fashioned way and just gets harder and rebounds and pursues the ball on both ends, offensively and defensively. He's able to put up numbers in terms of getting rebounds, and he's also able to get to the foul line. He's not afraid to absorb contact, get some points there. So he gives our team a real, I think a solid base for to compete against. And I think the guys in our team do a good job of feeding off of him, and having Tamir Jackson back as well, a guy that really has been an unsung guy over the last 2 years. Just about does everything for us, from ball handling, playmaking, scoring, defending, making tough plays. So it's good to have those guys who've been such a big part of our program, both our leading scorer and rebounders over our last 2 years, back as juniors. That's been a plus. And Connor Frizzell is a senior, Lucas Kuipers is a senior, Emerson Herndon. We've got 3 guys that I think will have very good senior years for us.
How much this season will Tamir have to step up to make all this work, as far as him being the guy that handles the ball?
Well, Tamir's, I think, biggest challenge, and he's welcomed this challenge so far, he's done a great job, is to really step up in the leadership department. It's something that every successful team has, and it's not always about points. It's not just having the ball in your hands and running the show, but it's about making your teammates better. It's about having team concerns, off the court, on the floor, being able to. And he's very intelligent, being able to take a game plan and help his teammates understand that. He's got a very high basketball IQ. He's really like another coach out there, and so and people respect his toughness. So now that next step for Tamir is to really use that toughness and his ability to lead his team and to be somebody that's been is very dependable and you can count on day in and day out to help his teammates. And that's a tough challenge. It's hard enough for some players just to play the game, but when a coach and the team needs you to step up, that's a great. I think that's a great honor for you. It's great to answer that call, and very few players can do that. But Tamir has shown the ability to want to be in that role, and so far he's answering that concern.
How good can the team be this year?
Well, we were knocking on the door last year. I know that we certainly upped our win total. We had 14 wins, against a very good schedule. This year's schedule is even tougher. So, I'm never really concerned about our just wins. I'm more concerned about A, are we playing up to our potential? B, are we improving? C, are we holding a competitive edge? Because if we can do those things, I think the wins will take care of itself. We were only a couple of games away, maybe getting into a postseason tournament, and that would be a big step for this program. It's been a while, and just for our guys to be mentioned as a possible postseason team is really important. It's something our team has to believe in and be willing to put the work in that it's going to take to be a team that's fortunate to play in the postseason. So that's kind of our goal, is to play competitively, competitively within our league, which we did at times last year, but to do it on a more consistent basis. And if we can play on that consistent basis, that's going to help us in post to accomplish our goals of being visible and being around in postseason somewhere.
Can you talk a little bit about the quality of coaches in this league? I know there's a lot of guys that have been around and been
Wow.
in some quality programs
Well,
that have found a pretty happy home here. What it's like to be.
Yeah, you know,
in this
I've said this before, and I think I'm a pretty good reference point in terms of, you know, being around coaches and good programs. This league is certainly as underrated a league as there is in the country, and I think a lot of it's because A, there are very good players in the league, but B, there are outstanding coaches, guys that have taken their team to very successful levels, guys that have coached, you know, players into the NBA, guys that have a lot of games under their belt, that are really veteran coaches. So if you look around our league, I'll put our league and our coaches up against anybody in terms of you know, having some success and now being at places that they really can make a difference. I've talked to a number of our coaches, you know, at our media day, and each coach really has found a niche in terms of being valuable to their programs, to their campus, to in their communities. So you know, it's a special group of guys that I've come to know from competing in Conference USA. I've gotten to know the coaches, and we have a lot of respect for their coaching ability, certainly, but the way they handle their programs and how competitive their teams have been.
You feel like Lee's kind of on an uptick in terms of bids, NCAA bids?
I do. You know, I think UAB got a bad rap last year. If you played them during the regular season, they were a lot better than what they played in the NCAA tournament, and I know they got criticized, but Mike's team was outstanding, and they've been good over the last several years. His players are talented players. He coaches them well, and I think our league in general, you know, if you look at our league top to bottom, there's just so many competitive leagues. We've been, you know, near the bottom of our league, and we had some competitive wins last year. You can take a number of teams like that I think are competitive. It just shows you how strong our league is. But, you know, as all leagues go, when some players graduate and other players come back in, sometimes it shifts a little bit. But the one thing that doesn't seem to shift in our league is that there's really never any poor teams or bad teams. I don't know what, even the records may be down, but those teams can play with any teams in the country, and that's been consistent over the years since I've been here.
All right, Coach, thank you.